You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
It's the greatest podcast ever heard. I am Jimbo Trashy, along here with Mike B. Checker and Scott Gaisford.
You better believe it, bitch.
Yeah, welcome. And the day has finally came.
This time we're a little less intoxicated, right?
Slightly.
Well, we did try a test run, and I don't even know how it went. I don't remember the night, and Jimbo refused to put the footage on the internet.
That'll be like later down in our lives. That's gonna be like the B-sides.
That's gonna be on
the greatest wrestling
DVD
podcast ever.
The DVD, the cutscenes,
The extras. It's gonna be just two of the greatest wrestling podcast ever.
Yeah, we'll put in the extras. I mean, holy shit, we were drunk.
Slightly.
I barely even remember it. I think
right?
I
we
think,
were drunk.
I think Scott actually fell asleep during the podcast. The original pilot we're talking about here.
the pilot definitely would have been picked up.
The pilot that we brought around to NBC and CBS, and
I think the pilot crashed into the World Trade Center, if I'm not mistaken. No?
It wasn't that long ago, but it would be the equivalent.
Might as well have. Right?
Well, it missed it because there was nothing there. It was just air.
It was emptiness. There was nothing of substance in that podcast.
Anyways,
right.
Now that we just offended the world, it's a perfect way to go into what we are and who we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thanks to Scott Gaser, we were able to watch Slammiversary 11.
The 11th one.
Even though it's like the 9th one, I guess.
XI?
It's the 9th one? I don't know. I only saw 9 different Slammiversaries here on Wikipedia, which I'm checking out. But nonetheless, here's the card. The opening match was Chris Sabin defeating Kenny King and Suicide. What do you guys think of that match?
What?
Well,
I'm on deck. You're at bat.
oh, okay. Yeah, X Division matches are supposed to be pretty good, and they usually are. I love them, and it wasn't a bad match, but we don't know if for sure it happened. But what it looked like to me is there was a few spots they missed.
Now, which ones are you referring to? I know you're saying towards the end.
Well,
the
definitely the
ending.
end, but there was another spot where Kenny King and Suicide and Chris Sabin were at the turnbuckle, and what seemed to be intentional was both of them were kind of like mice, or I don't know, rodents climbing to the top of the tower, getting thrown off, the next one getting up, getting thrown off, the next one going up.
It was a bad three-way spot.
Right, and it's like we kept thinking, oh, there's going to be a three-way spot here. Oh, no, one guy gets thrown off. It's going to be a two-way. The next guy came in, and it happened like 4 times until finally they did do the spot, and it ended up being some kind of weird superplex mixed in with Kenny King just on the side of the superplex, and I don't know what he just kind of like fell down with them in the middle of the suplex.
It was trying to be like a Russian leg sweep from the top rope almost.
It was supposed to be like
Yeah, it was he was trying to suplex with the left arm and Russian leg sweep with the right, and there was a lot of choreographed spots, quote unquote.
Too choreographed. That's my biggest complaint with TNA. You know,
it was like Kenny King was on his knees, and all of a sudden he perched up to being on one knee and like back arched a little bit more, so that, like you said, like the kind of like ladder up, you know, into the corner. It wasn't a bad match. There was some pretty cool stuff in there, like X Divisions. From my understanding, what Mike tells me, that's what it's supposed to be. But there was definitely a lot of missed spots and a lot of spots where it's like they were like looking to each other, like, okay, well, I'm gonna be on all fours. You're gonna be like on one knee and slightly above me. You know, there's a lot of spots that didn't look fucking proper. There wasn't a really good flow to the match.
would you say the right guy won?
Yeah, out of those guys, yeah.
Yeah, well, you hate Kenny King.
I don't. Here's the thing: is I don't hate him by any means. He's a NWA Hollywood guy, and
which I love. I love.
I don't like Kenny King.
I just, what I don't like is that he came in. See, and I have a big problem with gut check. He came into gut check, and I think he won his gut check or something, and all of a sudden they gave him the belt. Like, they gave him the X Division belt out of nowhere. To me, I would have rather had. I mean, Zia Ion is actually having some kind of medical issues, but they just gave him the belt too quickly out of nowhere, and I don't know. I didn't like it, but What I wanted was Petey Williams to be in that match.
Is Petey Williams part of TNA now?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Petey
back.
Williams he's back. That's why I think on the Impact, I think that just ended. There was either a 3-way or a 4-way that involved Petey Williams, Suicide, and Joey Ryan was in it, I think, and I'm not sure if Chris Sabin was too, but
Yeah, it was Chris Sabin, Petey Williams, and Suicide.
and Joey Ryan.
Oh, and Petey Williams was the one who got pinned, correct?
Oh, okay. Is that
Because he was the one that's how he got eliminated.
Well,
from
Joey
the
Ryan
potential
wasn't
match.
in it either. Joey Ryan was in that match too, and he wasn't in the
The
final end.
decision?
But anyways, what it comes down to is that the X Division now is like it's the new Lucha Libre, and it's kind of like the X Division and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, the new Lucha
That's
Libre.
wrestle for free.
And and Chris Sabin deserves it. Kenny King just didn't deserve to be where he's at so far. I think he's cool. He's the guy who knows King Mo.
He has no charisma though.
Yeah, he does. That's my point. And he's cool in the indies, and he's a good guy or whatever. But I just think there's so many people on that roster that deserve it. And I guess if anyone's trying to say
Chris
Petey
Sabin-
Williams is too old now or something, I don't know.
He's 32. He's way too old.
Well, I mean, I know, right?
But he's dope.
Chris Sabin, I think he deserves it because
He does.
What he came from, that is insane.
Yeah,
know?
two torn ACLs.
On separate occasions,
Yeah,
rehab
yeah,
both of them back.
yeah.
Petey Williams, hands down, since the day that he showed it to me, which was maybe a month and a half ago, the Canadian Destroyer is hands down the best finisher in wrestling.
History, yeah.
He does. It's like he does a flip into a pile driver.
Is he still looking like Big Papa Pump?
Well, that was his mentor.
I mean,
he's not that big anymore,
Yeah.
but that was clearly maybe TNA fucking cracked down on the roids. or whatever.
Some happened to PD.
He was pretty
I think
jacked
he
for a
got
while.
hurt or something, but
Well, he was the Maple Leaf Muscle.
yeah.
You know.
But anyways, yeah. So
I think it was a good match. I think that
what happened at the end though is and maybe they didn't, but to me if they didn't blow these spots,
when did Chris Sabin start bleeding?
yeah, we
still don't know when
we
that
didn't
happened.
we don't know when that happened, and if they didn't blow these spots at the end where they all were hanging on the rope for the X Division title, it was an Ultimate X match, and if what happened was is Kenny King went up to the top, and then Suicide was up there with them, and it looked like
Tried to demask him or something.
or something. Either way, it looked like Kenny King fell, or one of them fell, and then
Suicide fell first.
I'm just glad
Suicide
that
fell.
I'm just glad that pantomime Suicide didn't win.
And
Because
then
he's-
Chris Sabin, it looked like, because the reason why I thought it was a botch is because Chris Sabin jumped up so quick, and he grabbed on and he ran right to the middle, and he was kind of like, oh, he fucked up. Do it to me now. And then when it looked like, what did we think was going to happen? Some kind of reverse neck breaker.
It was almost like
they were
maybe like
setting
a
up
falling
for.
neck breaker from the.
It looked like they
where
were
the
going to
title
fall
was.
with the neck breaker, and what happened was Kenny King just fell with nobody touching him.
Like he had him set up, maybe like it's not the 3D, but the other like belly to back where Bubba or Bully Ray would set someone up and Devon would do like the neck breaker.
It's just a diamond cutter, an RKO, but backwards.
Hanging from the rafters.
right.
And Kenny King just kind of
fell.
that's it.
And then Sabin was sitting there hanging upside down. And what I think was supposed to happen was he was supposed to hit that and then jump back up and get the belt or something. But anyways, then he just grabbed the belt and the match ended. And it was so anticlimactic for what an Ultimate X match should be.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely good spots, but I mean, all three of us can agree there was a lot of choreographed. Like, okay, well, you're gonna jump off my back while I'm on all fours. It was.
I know, right? There was one scene where I think Chris Sabin just like dropped to his knees for no reason. Like he got like clipped in the head with a boot, and he like just stood there, kind of like, oh, that hurts. And then hold on, wait, he's about to go to the top rope. Let me just fall to my knees.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Just
oh,
like-
wait, I was supposed to be on top of you, standing above you while you're on all fours. Okay, hold on.
I mean, all I
There
gotta
we
say, I
go.
mean, TNA, they put out a decent product, but you can just tell they're just not at that level where WWE is on certain aspects. I mean, maybe certain spots they got down, and some of the stuff they do is really innovative, but like as far as like in my opinion, like storytelling in the ring, they're still working on that.
Well,
Besides a Kurt Angle, someone who's been there for years,
Yeah,
and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame in TNA because he's the best thing they ever had.
Spoiler.
yeah. Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen.
We didn't get to that yet, but you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that is also chemistry. You know, Like,
Yeah.
It on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 6 or 7 of a match. It was a good match. I mean,
6.
6.
I'm just glad Chris Sabin won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Me too.
I know you said you
I
don't
think
like
we're all-
Suicide.
we're all
He-
agreed
he-
on that.
and he doesn't like Kenny King. I think there were he had some dope spots where he did the backflip and shit. Like, I'm down with it.
I don't
And
not
if-
like Kenny King. There's other people
He's not
that
ready.
deserve it. Yeah.
Well, no, leading on to the next match, that promo with Hogan was very
Random.
sloppily.
That was for
Yeah, I
them.
was wondering why the fuck is Hogan stumbling out there?
Coming out.
He can't even hold a microphone. They still have him out there trying to fucking.
with his hand injury and what we
Yeah.
think. And then
This
all of a
is-
sudden Saban's bleeding.
I know. So he's
That-
bleeding.
Exactly.
What?
That
He was gushing blood out of nowhere. We didn't see that happen, and I think that was just to help them tear down the Ultimate
the,
X.
the scaffolding and whatnot. But
So
Yeah.
in this match coming up, it was a 6-man tag: Magnus, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy against Aces and Eights, Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, and Mr. Anderson.
I'm gonna say Westbrook.
Mister.
Now, see, out of these, I mean, as far as in my opinion, of these 6-man
Did you
tag,
name the other 3?
yeah.
Oh, you did. You named the team.
Mike's boy,
Magnus-
Magnus, aka Wolverine.
Yeah, Mike Checker's favorite wrestler, Magnus.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, the blonde Hugh Jackman.
I'm not a fan of Magnus. Samoa Joe, I think he's a good worker, just doesn't have the it factor.
Underused, I would say.
He doesn't have the it factor. That's why he's not getting pushed. You know, he's just.
I
mean,
love Samoa Joe. I
he's-
think
he's-
he
he's-
does have the it factor.
I think-
and I think that.
Oh no! So some of the
he's-
matches against CM Punk.
on the microphone, he's meh. You know,
Whoa,
the best promo
okay,
he ever did
okay,
was when he was pissed
okay,
off at Scott Hall.
Okay.
In my opinion,
That was a shoot.
and that's because it was from the heart. You know,
And that was a shoot.
but
yeah.
when is he ever that really mad? That
Yeah.
legitimately mad?
I don't think Scott even ever heard that or knows about that.
I know Scott Hall's like, what? Yo, Chico?
I
you
mean,
talk
I mean
shit?"
this Scotty.
Oh, that's
both Scott. Well, Scott Hall might not know about it as well, but because he was all pilled out. On a quick sidebar. How about the heels shoot?
heel shoot. What are you talking about?
The heels shoot. He said it was a shoot. You know, like a promo. It's a shoot. You know, the heels shoot instead of the heels turn for the fucking.
Oh, for the podcast name.
Yeah, the heels shoot.
Yeah, well, see, for you guys listening at home,
Oh, the heel shoot.
we're still trying to think
you
of
know,
an.
you know what I mean?
We're still trying
You
to figure out an
threw me
official
off
name for
right
this
there.
podcast. So Scott Gaisford's. We might have to do like a poll or something on this on the globalpsychosis.net website. But the heel shoot. I like that name.
The heels shoot. You know,
It's a
the
cool name.
heels
It's
shoot.
not. I don't think it's quite as good as a heel turn, but that one's been taken as we've already figured out before we started
we got
broadcasting.
fucking hornswoggled on that one.
We'll throw that in the
Huh.
list. We'll throw
Well,
that in the list.
well, yeah.
It just came to mind, so I apologize for that.
No
But
apologies. That's a good suggestion. Right there.
Yeah.
The Jeff Hardy being in that match was definitely like it was like okay, you have probably your top 3, top 4 performers. One of them being Jeff Hardy, and he was in basically a meaningless match.
Well, they just
Yeah.
wanted the star power. They knew that match was going to lack
And-
without him in there.
And
Yeah.
that was his return
Yeah,
too.
that was what that was. That was bringing him back. So
Well, the
Yeah,
right three.
that
I
was
think
a
the right three won
stupid-
because, I mean, honestly, Aces and Eights, in my opinion, it's just a jobber team with Bully Ray at the top.
But Mr. Anderson to me
Deep
isn't a
Devon.
jobber, but the 2 other guys in there with him were. And you know, the end, it was a cool finish. I like that Jeff Hardy swanton while Bischoff I think was pinning.
I like Garrett Bischoff. When I first saw him, I'm like, great, another nepotism fucking.
He's developing.
But I mean, he's shown a lot of improvement.
He's developing.
I mean,
He's developing better
Yeah.
than Briscoe.
I would say so.
In my opinion.
Briscoe is just built. Other than that, I can't say much for the guy.
Well, he kind of looks like Gary Sinise too, with long hair.
Who's Gary Sinise?
Have you ever seen Reindeer Games?
No.
Okay, well then that flies over like.
All
a
right,
lead
we'll have
balloon.
to. I'll Google it later.
But no, that match wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was very chaotic. Had a better ending than matches coming up later in the
Throw that
evening.
match in the trash. But yeah, that was
That was maybe 5th or 6th best
That
match
was
of the
what it was
night.
gonna
Do you guys agree that Magnus Mojo and Jeff Hardy should win that match?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
yeah.
so
It could have gone either way, really.
Solely based on Jeff Hardy's return, he wrestled the majority of the match.
We knew he
And-
was gonna get the pinfall.
Well, yeah, and obviously Mike was really pulling for his boy Magnus.
Magnus needs to go.
I was.
Just release him.
Mike,
Yeah,
He's
that
so
guy-
worthless.
I
dude.
said-
I hope he
before-
gets pulled over with like, well in TNA it doesn't matter, but I was gonna say I wish he got pulled
Yeah.
over with some weed or something.
Yeah,
Or,
before
Full of Jack Swagger.
And they
Before we sit
fire
here,
him.
before we sit here and demolish Mike's favorite wrestler in TNA, what's up? What's up? What else is on deck? What was after that?
The next match, I think we actually fast forward through this. Jay Bradley for Sam Shaw. I have no idea who either one of these guys are.
I have no comment. All I know is that his his half bicep, half forearm clothesline that he claims is deadly.
That
or
was
whatever.
weak.
He has no personality. He looks like a complete tool, and that's all I gotta say about it.
He's a JBL ripoff and not even a good one.
He's not a no. That,
And he's flabby.
He uses the clothesline. That's it. But
they're trying to push him as the next JBL.
the reason we watched the end of it, we saw what happened. We know what went down. But
Who's Sam Shaw?
Here's why.
Exactly.
Here's why. Gut check. What they're doing with it is worthless. Every single guy they get on the gut check platform, on the gut check stage, they fucking, I'm sorry to curse, but they freaking cut them and send them back to where they come from. And the people they keep are the most worthless Christian York jabronis. Alex Silva. I could go on.
I liked Christian York.
Christian, oh my God, dude.
He's actually I see smoke coming out
Now, granted,
from the earphones right now.
Granted, I saw him in one match, so I can't judge. Maybe he's had horrible matches.
Here's what angers me is that I follow the indie scene and I love the independent scene. I grew up on watching the non-big three, and in California, you know, we got XPW, we got Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, but there's a ton of shit now.
California
But what we
wrestling.
have a big thing right now is NWA Hollywood, and Joey Ryan came from NWA Hollywood to gut check, and he got canceled out after the fans voted 87%. And now
87.
That's a work. I think that whole thing's
they
a work.
think it's a work, but the reason why I don't think it was a freaking work is, and I think after a big deal got made about it,
I mean the gut check
they
in general.
turned it into it. But anyways, the reason why I don't think it's a work is because, again, like Adam Pearce, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce doesn't get accepted.
That's
And
a
they're-
dope nickname, by the way. Scrap Iron. I like
just-
that.
It's just every single person that I like and that deserves to be there, they get cut. And all these no-name nobodies, man, get these developmental deals, and it bothers me, dude. It really bothers me. And gut check to me needs to be done for, tossed away. I'm sick of seeing it. They put it on their big pay-per-view. Who I don't even know these two guys. I've never heard of them. They're generic. They're nobodies.
Wait, doesn't TNA already have a FCW like WWE does, which
Yeah.
would be or NXT
Bound for
OVW,
Glory.
right?
OVW.
Oh,
yeah.
OVW, right.
So why don't they just pull dudes from OVW and put them in the gut check? Is that what they're doing, or
So that was,
are they just pulling guys out of nowhere?
I was
No.
going to ask is Gut Check or whatever that was the final we saw? Is that like NXT or what is that?
It's similar. It's similar, but no, they don't pull people from OVW to gut check, because what happens is when you win gut check, you go to OVW.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Okay.
OVW was owned by Falcon WWE though.
Well, that's
Used
too
to
much
be.
too soon, I think.
It
then.
used to be.
Well, so no, FCW is WWE, and OVW is Ring of Honor is like the one, still
Yeah.
independent that's not owned by upper class type thing, right?
Well, NXT,
Is WWE
right,
It's their farm program.
right,
And FCW is part of WWE, correct?
FCW is what NXT turned into.
yeah,
Okay.
and OVW is okay. So, anyways, next,
Yeah. Anyways, fuck that match.
Next match was Devon versus Joseph Park, aka Abyss.
Joseph
AKA
Parks.
Joseph
You mean Joseph
Parks.
Parks? You mean
Joseph Parks.
Parks.
They keep
Yeah.
fucking up on his last name.
The funniest thing of the night, I'll probably laugh every time we say it, is Devon's and Joseph Parks got beat down in the back.
Yeah, here's weird. Here I'm looking on Wikipedia, and it says Devon defeated Joseph Park. I guess he did. I guess it did happen, huh? Never
Yeah, he
mind.
did.
I forgot there was a forfeit there, which was kind of
Count out,
stupid
a count out.
because
So actually, we got more bang for our buck because we got one extra match.
we got another match, yeah.
technically there was 9 matches on the card if you count that one. But anyways,
Joseph
Abyss,
Parks got beat in the back by Aces and Eights, and he couldn't come out to the count of 10.
He fell into a bowl of fucking corn
Pig's
syrup.
blood, yeah.
So
Pig's blood.
Abyss comes out like 2 minutes later, wearing his mask and his little string hair attached to it, but it looks like Joseph Park to me, dude. It doesn't look like
without Joseph Parks,
Joseph Parks.
It's his brother.
quote unquote.
No. It's
my
his
point
brother.
is, when Abyss was Abyss, he had a full head of hair, so it looked like a fucking long-haired monster.
He looked more.
Now
like a
it
maniac.
he looks like Joseph Parks, or Joseph Park, whatever way
It's
you
his
want to use
brother.
it. It looks just like him with a mask on, with a few strands of long hair.
That's because it's his brother.
Yeah, it's just the mask is not convincing anymore.
It's his brother.
What was the analogy we came up with when we were watching it? It was Abyss is basically mankind.
Joseph Park's brother.
Mankind and Kane.
Mankind and Kane morphed into a character.
If Kane fucked Mankind in the ass and nutted, and then Mankind gave birth, Abyss would come out of his ass.
Right, so that's what
Foley
happened too with Joseph Parks.
If Mrs. Foley
his
had,
brother.
if Mrs. Foley had an inbred baby boy,
She would have
it
Joseph
be
Parks.
Joseph Parks. That's what it would be. Him and his hog teeth without his grill. Joseph
His
Parks.
grill is gross, dude. Abyss has got
He's
some-
got those little fucking.
You need to see a dentist immediately.
Well, no, I mean,
Anyways, he won the TV or the TNA Television Championship.
which I love Devon.
That's
but
probably for
Joseph
the-
Parks.
That's probably for what the 20th
He did it for his
time?
brother, Joseph Parks.
That whole Joseph Parks thing. Joseph Park is the stupidest character I've ever thought of, or they've ever thought of. I think.
Well, no,
What do you mean? It's his brother.
No,
But why is he even in the federation or in the company?
Mike was giving him props.
He's just a
earlier.
dumb character.
It's what Abyss couldn't say. Obviously, Joseph Parks has Mike skills, but Abyss was like Hulk. He's me smash.
Hey, Joseph
Me
Park.
beat you.
Joseph Parks should be Abyss's manager.
That,
But
now,
it's his
that would
brother.
be one. That would be one. Now, if you could make that
Yeah.
work out somehow,
Brother and brother?
How like it was Undertaker versus Undertaker.
I hope they can patch
but
those things
Joseph
up.
Parks is Abyss's manager. Now that'd be one hell of a fucking
I
pull.
guarantee you they're thinking about how they're gonna do that. They're gonna have them both. Last week
they're-
on Impact, you
doing
thought it was
fat
gonna
guy
happen for a second. You thought it was gonna happen. His music hit. His music. I thought they were gonna bring a shadow or something to come out, and but-
They need to do fat guy tryouts for Joseph Parks, or
Fat guy tryouts.
or inversely Abyss, and just make that shit work and believe into make people believe into the overhyped, obvious fucking farce that is they're not the same person. You know
they're brothers
exactly.
All right, the next match here we had Gunner and James Storm
who aren't brothers.
versus Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez
Not
versus Bad Influence, which is Christopher Daniels and Kazarian versus
not
Austin
brothers.
Aries and Bobby Roode.
Who might be brothers.
Actually, this is probably my favorite match on the card, to be honest.
No,
This was a
that,
good
that,
match.
that was a very well. Who was it? Austin Aries or who came out with the cloak that said the greatest person alive,
The greatest man ever lived.
greatest man ever to live. Now, let
A
me-
double,
Looking like Vlad Drac with his fucking
not
cape
double A,
and shit.
A double.
Yeah, and he's got that nice little fucking beard going on. And
Mark Madden called him a male porn star. I'm sorry, I messed that up.
Well,
He
after
called
that-
them a male stripper.
Hey, you know what? That guy's shorter than me, but he is stacked. He's fucking as wide as the refrigerator. Wide with a D, not white. But he's built. You know.
You've seen his penis before?
No, but what's her name? Christy Heim, or whoever the
Oh,
announcer
she's
was.
sure that
she got
Christy
full,
Hemme has seen
yeah,
it.
Hemme. She got full frontal. I'm talking like.
I wonder if she got any of that fine.
Well, he
I
picked
wonder
the
if,
right
like,
mouth,
that
'cause
went
that-
to her in
Or
any way.
do you think that she got kicked down because his
Like,
wiener was
hey,
in her face?
hey, don't sue us.
How dare that bitch complain about
Well,
it? Bitch, you're in the
fine.
professional
She-
wrestling
she-
business.
Dude, she even said she had no problem with it. She probably liked it.
She didn't. She said she had a problem
It
with
was
it.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're
But she didn't make.
inappropriate.
Mark Madden made a
But
big
she-
deal about it, and then Spike TV got noticed about it.
Wait,
and
who- wait, who made a big deal about it?
She went.
Mark
she
Madden.
went with the game.
Fuck
though.
Mark Madden. Hey, Mark Madden, if you ever hear this,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself, you fat dyke.
Yeah,
know?
he pissed a lot of people off by being such
Fuck
a
that
girl.
guy.
your-
Who the
kill
fuck
yourself.
is Mark Madden?
Kill
Why
yourself
does he,
twice.
Why
Mark
does he
Madden.
even matter in this fucking
I haven't
business,
heard
dude?
of Mark Madden since WCW shut down.
Let's stop
Until
saying his
this
name.
happened.
Let's stop saying his name.
Wasn't
Give
he like
him
the
fuck-
fourth
fuck
string
him.
WCW announcer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just gonna
Give
call
me
him.
a
Well,
break.
he was actually an internet mark.
We're just gonna call
And
him the
so-
man who bitched.
He was an internet mark when the internet started becoming a big thing in the late '90s.
What's
And
the internet?
And somehow WCW signed him to be an announcer, and he's a fat slob. And
Fuck that guy, dude.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
yeah.
He doesn't deserve for even the likes of us to speak his name. So fuck that guy.
I hope he gets chokeslammed by Kane in an Inferno match.
And he
his
literally
face
gets
burned.
chokeslammed to hell.
He's responsible for everything that happened. Spike TV wouldn't have known what happened if it wasn't for Mark Madden. Then Dixie Carter wouldn't have had to jump in.
He's just mad because he couldn't do it.
He's
Yeah,
mad.
exactly.
No, he's mad because TNA hired everybody from WCW besides him
Because he sucks.
because he's an idiot.
The proof
He
in
calls
his
himself
lack of pudding.
He calls himself the brain of the brainless, and that's supposed to be a cut on Paul Heyman's voice of the voiceless or whatever it is.
That's also a fucking shot at anyone who watches wrestling, saying, "Come on, the brain of the brainless." So we don't have an opinion. We're not intelligent enough to come up with our own.
Because that's what he is. He was what we are, and he still is, and he's just because of that he was known. He's just
fuck him.
He's an idiot. He is an idiot, and nobody likes him these days, and nobody likes the wrestlers who are all in the industry. Nobody likes him, and
for any wrestling podcast from here on out, we will no longer speak his name.
Go
He'll just be known as that fuck.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Go eat another pork, Ryan.
I don't even know who that is. Who are we talking about? I forgot. Anyways, so
fuck that guy.
Gunner and James Storm won the tag team championship tonight. Were you guys content with that?
Not at all.
I wanted Bad Influence or Austin Aries his team to take it down.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Chavo and Hernandez weren't in the final two. But, I mean...
I kind of saw them doing that.
It was a four-way dance, there's no guarantees. It would be kind of, I don't know, to script if they would have been in the final two.
I thought they were going to take them out first, so that right away they were like, so there's no matter what, we're going to have a new champion tonight,
Yeah.
And to me...
At one point, there was a lot of chaos going on in that match. It was. I think it was a good wrestling match. Maybe not technically sound, but there was a lot of good bumps. There was a lot of hits that got exchanged that were fucking pretty dope.
TNA has a lot of good tag teams, and
they celebrate the tag team division.
out of all those people in that ring, Chavo or Gunner and James Storm are not a tag team, and they're the ones who won the belt. So be it.
You know what? I think they're giving them the belts because they want to push them. They want to push Gunner to the main event. So he eventually is going to turn heel, turn on James Storm.
What I want, what I like,
Gunner is a monster.
What I liked, what you said is Gunner to the Wyatt family.
Oh, yeah, except for all his tats.
If he joined the Bray Wyatt,
they
haven't been released yet in WWE, but they eventually will be, and I think he'd be a perfect fit.
I think he would be awesome.
Well,
I think that was the smartest thing I heard all night.
No, especially with that angle, the angle that the Wyatt family is coming out with. They're kind of like Southern, maybe cult status. That's great. I can't wait for that angle to come out.
It's a TNA pay-per-view tonight, but by no means does that mean that that's all we'll talk about. For future reference, these podcasts are just going to be a wrestling purist podcast. So,
absolutely.
We'll mix and match, but
it's just fresh on the brain.
We can't wait. Yeah, I know amongst all of us, we can't wait to see the Wyatt family.
I can't wait. I like how WWE is releasing all these teams or all these new guys in trios. They're all like coming out in stables.
Shield,
I miss the stable, dude.
Yeah.
It's cool, the trio thing, dude.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you were saying, it's fresh on the brain. We're recapping a pay-per-view. We'll probably have some more thoughts on WWE before we close out, but absolutely, Wyatt family, something I'm looking forward to. Was the chick match next?
The next match, with Taryn Terrell, who I would love to fucking impregnate.
Before that, though, did they do the Hall of Fame right before this?
Nah, you're right. I think it was the Hall of Fame. That might have been for the.
I don't remember when it was. Yeah, I think. Excuse me. I think it was after the tag team match.
A new inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Mike,
go ahead.
Taryn Terrell defeated Gail Kim.
Well, wait.
Go and let us know, Mike. Who got inducted to the Hall of Fame?
He represents the three I's: intelligence, integrity, and
intoxication.
Inappropriate.
I fucked that one up.
And inappropriate.
Inebriation.
Inebriation, that's the word I was looking for.
Anyways,
inebriation, intoxication.
Even Kurt Angle was surprised, I guess, that they picked him. And I'm gonna be honest, I love Kurt Angle. He's one of the greatest of our generation. But to me, there's some other people, and I think I kind of could see it because what they did is they brought the entire TNA roster onto the stage, and I think it was a surprise to everyone. And you could see in the eyes of maybe the sums of like Samoa Joe and Chris Sabin and AJ Styles, I think maybe AJ or Samoa Joe should have been inducted before Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
That's just me.
Okay, so of the three, all right, I'll give you three names, okay? So Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
Oh, Jeff Jarrett too, for sure.
So 1, 2, and 3, who goes in before Kurt Angle? Do all three go in before Kurt Angle?
Before or after, you mean?
No. Well, obviously, I'm saying his opinion before Kurt Angle. Say Kurt Angle didn't get inducted. You know, like who would go in 1, 2, 3?
Honestly, I mean, I don't like Jeff Jarrett at all, but
You don't-
Jeff Jarrett
no, you-
should have been in there.
You don't like Jeff Jarrett as a person, as a wrestler.
As anything.
You don't respect him as a wrestler because he did a lot for the business.
No, he did, but he just to me he
Come on,
was
he used to do the fucking.
to me he
little
was
strap.
never a major draw. The only reason why he was ever a draw is because Vince McMahon gave him that double J Jeff Jarrett gimmick, and that's the only reason why anyone gave a shit about him.
Double F, J A double R E double T.
They pushed him to the
Jeff Jarrett.
they pushed
No,
him
that's
to the
double J. Jeff Jarrett.
J-E,
Excuse me.
double F, J-A, R-double-E, whatever the fuck you said. But that whole
just
thing,
like that.
just like that with the, I fucked up, that whole thing. But anyways, my point is, no one gave a fuck about Jeff Jarrett to this day and before if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon made me think, oh, this guy is interesting.
was
And
a
with
good-
his "With My Baby Tonight" song, like he was getting pushed to the moon, and he fucked it up because he thought he should be the world champion already.
I think
fucked it
I
up.
think
He never got the
he,
belt.
he was one of the best Intercontinental champions
He
ever. I
honestly
think.
thought though that he should be feuding with Stone Cold when he was fucking white hot.
And that's why
No,
he
The
went and
Rock.
made his own
The
company.
Rock is the reason why you weren't in the fucking top position, dude. Like, there's no way Jeff Jarrett could
Well,
honestly
the Rock,
think.
Taker.
How could how could the Jeff how could Jeff Jarrett
the Joffrey?
how could
That's the Game of Thrones podcast.
how could Jeff Jarrett honestly think that he was in the same league as The Rock? The Rock Stone Cold feud. You know what I'm saying?
He's
full of shit, man.
I agree. He doesn't belong there, but
He was top of the card at best, not main event.
But when in regards to TNA, before say you were Dixie Carter, you'd be way better looking. No offense to you, Mike. You're good. But, so let's say Stinger's the only one in the Hall of Fame, and you pull the straw. You pull the one. It's Jeff Jarrett, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. Just TNA. Don't look at.
They're too
else.
young.
Well, no. Even take Kurt Angle. So you have the pick of the 4. Who would you pick?
Well, it has to be Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett.
From the outside looking in, I don't know TNA like you guys do.
Jarrett.
I'm actually getting excited into TNA. I want
Like getting a boner excited or
not that bad, but I wanted to get this pay per view. I legitimately was like intrigued by it. I've been watching TNA on Thursdays with Mike for about a month or two, and I'm from the outside looking in. I would say Jeff Jarrett deserves to be in above Kurt Angle.
he does.
So,
But Kurt Angle, I think, brought more to the table than Jarrett ever did.
because of recognition as far as outside of wrestling.
Like, no one gave a shit about TNA.
And crossover.
Like, TNA would never even be considered for a TV deal, like a serious TV deal, until Kurt Angle signed. Then they're like,
they were part of Spike TV before.
I know, but it was like what
Kurt
Saturday
Angle,
night at 11 p.m. when no one's watching. When they got Kurt Angle, everything changed. It was like, oh shit, now they're a contender. Oh shit, they got some WWE competition with them. Oh shit, like that was like the Scott Hall jump. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Kurt Angle was the biggest jump. By far, the biggest jump.
So I mean, so both of you say Jeff Jarrett should have won him. So
Jeff
obviously-
Jarrett earned
so-
it by
so-
tenure.
So next year it's Jeff Jarrett.
It should be.
To me,
No-
and
no-
I
no
get
doubt,
what you're
no
saying.
doubt.
They're too young. To me, Kurt Angle should be in their Hall of Fame. I just
they only
didn't
do
think
one
it
a
should have
year.
happened this year.
AJ Styles and Samoa Joe will definitely go in there. They're just too young.
Well, no. So the thing is though is like
It's
I
like the
mean,
40 and over club.
Yeah, I get it,
Or
yeah.
50 and over club if you think about it.
Yeah, they're pretty old.
Sting, Kurt Angle is close to 50.
45 and
so,
over.
So let's say next year, 2014, is going to be Jeff Jarrett. 2015 is going to maybe it'll be Hulk. Maybe it will be
Hogan, not that he hasn't earned it as far as what he's accomplished over the years, but he hasn't been with TNA long enough.
So I mean, let's just like just for shits and giggles, 2014 Jeff Jarrett, is that unanimous?
I think the reason why they didn't
I
put
agree, it'll be
Jeff
Jeff Jarrett
Jarrett
next
in
year.
Yeah.
is because Jeff Jarrett got a lot of flack for winning the belt.
And also fucking Kurt Angle's wife.
Well, yeah, but he got a lot of flack for getting the belt, and it was, it's because he's the owner. That's why he's running, and he has all these title reigns. So I think maybe that had a play in his, put him in the Hall of Fame right now. It's like, of course he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He made the company. He makes the decisions. He's still fucking running Dixie Carter by the puppet strings. And, I mean, that's the only reason I could see them putting. Kurt deserves it. I just don't get it because Kurt is still so young, and I think Kurt's going to be wrestling for, another 5 years at least. So, I don't know.
Chronologically, I could see, but I mean, I'm saying
Sting, on the other hand, is not going to be wrestling for 5 more years. I don't think.
I hope not.
We'll get there later in the podcast because we have business to talk about there. But so we'll say Jeff Jarrett, and then after that, so Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, or Hogan? Who's we'll leave that the answer to that question, and then we'll move on.
I don't say any of them deserve it in 2015. You're talking about
after Jeff Jarrett, because Jeff Jarrett, you would agree.
None of them deserve it.
After Jeff Jarrett, no one. It's toss up.
Not for a while, because like I said, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are too young.
If they do one a year though, so say, we're all in agreement. Jeff Jarrett's going to be next year.
I would say so.
Okay.
I don't know who else could be.
Yeah. Well. So
they're too young.
So 2015, just throw a name out, and we'll move on to the next match.
After Jeff Jarrett,
I guess it would have to be Hogan. If we're doing the 45 and
it might be Hogan, but like I think AJ Styles should be next. Then.
Cause
yeah, maybe AJ Styles.
You guys are more well versed in it, but I mean, to me, if it's by recognition and bringing people in, I'd say Hogan would be 2015, and AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are gonna have to keep putting in work.
When I think of Hall of Famers.
And well, the thing is also, it's like they only do one. WWE has so many effing people who have fucking done like the work that we grew up loving wrestling on. You know what I mean? Like not that TNA doesn't put out a good product, but they only do one a year.
When I think of Hall of Famers, though, I think of people that are on their last ride. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, they're not done. They got another 10 years. You know?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. What do we have next on the docket?
We're about to take a shot right now to the winner of the Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles match.
The sleeper. Most disappointing match of the night.
Oh,
cheers!
I think we skipped that on one, but here's the fucking hell.
Cheers to Kurt Angle and AJ Styles Snorefest tonight.
Yummy.
Woo!
We're actually missing out on the broads. Gail Kim fought Taryn Terrell.
Oh yeah, they had a fight. They had a match.
I would maybe argue that was the second best match of the night. There was some pretty. I've never seen a last woman standing match.
Oh, is that what that was?
They didn't answer the 10 count.
Okay, makes sense.
When she did, what was that? Was that a running bulldog or a stunner or a RKO off the fucking?
Yeah, I think it was a bulldog, wasn't it?
Diamond cutter.
And
Taryn Terrell's hot as fuck, dude. I would definitely impregnate her.
No, I would drink her bath water.
And then blame it on somebody else.
I was hoping they were gonna put a table there for it, but it was what it was.
No, I think that made it more hardcore that it didn't.
I'm just glad Gail Kim didn't go over.
Well, Gail Kim did go face first into a chair, but it's not like I fucked up her face because her face is already flat as fuck.
It wouldn't have done anything. If you hit Gail Kim in the face with the chair sheet, her face is flat as it is right now.
It might pop out. It might pop out.
It would have flushed nicely against the chair.
Yeah. But no, they had some good spots in that match actually. A lot of good chair shots. Some of the hardest bumps I've seen the females take since China fought Chris Jericho in
because Chris Jericho fucked
that
her
no
up.
DQ match.
Or how about the bumps China's been taking lately with those dudes slapping against her ass?
No. The bumps.
Taking it out and fucking whipping.
The bumps China's been taking lately
behind the pool table or
on
behind the bar.
Oh wait, you're right. You're right. You're right. She's not taking bumps. She's hitting the crack pipe.
I forgot. And getting bumped
by Sean Waltman.
That's
not anymore. He's moved on.
For all you marks out there.
He's moved on to ripping his asshole.
I'm pretty sure. Oh no! Hey, okay.
Ouch.
Now, why that makes everyone cringe when you say like his taint to ball sack? Like, what are we talking about?
Dude, poor guy, dude. That's fucked up.
That's a fucked up situation.
Well, that's the life you lead when you use the Bronco Buster as a signature move.
Another piece of evidence to suggest that God is a comedy writer, if he exists.
You can have your taint literally ripped. And if you guys don't know what taint is, that's balls to butthole, that area in between.
That's the seam.
And if you have a vagina, it means you have one big vagina. If you rip your taint, you're female.
Usually when you have a baby, your taint has to be
sewn back together.
And it hurts.
Now, what's the point of a taint? Why is that part of?
To be tickled.
Well, no, it's like if a chick's going down on you and like she's like rubbing your balls and maybe like rubs your taint a little bit while she's blowing you, it feels good. Oh, what were we saying about Christy Jaime? Is that her name?
No,
Jaime?
Speaking.
Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles.
No, well, I thought we were talking. No, hold on. Well, was Christy Jaime? How do you say her
Christy
name?
Hemme.
Jaime.
Hyman.
You were saying that her mouth was so big that she could probably blow you, lick your balls, and I had mentioned that she probably lick your taint at the same
No,
time.
she swallow your balls, dude. She would deep throat your cock, swallow your
So
balls.
if she sticks her tongue out when she's going down on you, she's licking taint. And I mean, I don't know if you ever had your taint licked or your butthole licked. It doesn't feel bad. You know, rim job and blow job at the same time. Sign me up.
When she smiles, dude, like the edge of her mouth like goes from ear to ear, dude.
She got the Joker smile.
Yeah, she got a huge mouth, dude, I'm telling you.
She's the Joker.
That's exactly why whoever married her, because he knew that his dick would just be swallowed in the fucking abyss.
That's also the abyss. Good pun.
Joseph Parks is boning Christy Hemme.
Yeah, Joseph Parks. And that's why Austin Aries was fucking up and in there. He was trying to get a little piece of that action. He wanted to know what it felt like.
Now, anyway, surprisingly, Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles was a snore fest.
That was besides the J.
With a roll victory, a roll pin victory.
I
that
cannot
was a
believe they
terrible
ended it
thing.
like that.
But considering the two combatants, that was a terribly written finish.
Stupid.
It was
It was written to have another match in the next pay-per-view.
maybe not even
Yeah,
that because it was
but-
so like
I think they'll do it again.
a roll up on we were just talking about the newest inductee to the Hall of Fame to a potential next 2 or 3 year inductee Hall of Famer.
Like, what do they do that for? They just
You
brought.
made AJ Styles look like a fucking
Here's,
bitch.
whoever's writing this shit in TNA, like, guys, I try to love you. I try to support you in TNA. I try to tell my friends, and I try to
didn't
tell
even
all the
get finished.
haters. I try to tell the haters, it is good, dude. They got good people in it. And then you go and you pull AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. And let me just list for you some things right here, okay? You're bringing AJ Styles back, right? He's fucking the guy who's the neutral. He's the Sting of TNA to what Sting was to WCW during the NWO era, okay? And so here's what fucking happens is you bring him back. He turns on Aces and Eights. Or he joins Aces and Eights, so what we think. And he beats Kurt Angle up. But then he jumps Aces and Eights and says, no, I'm all by myself. I'm this big, bad, tough dude.
Renegade.
Screw everybody. You didn't fucking believe in me when I was for you. Now I don't believe in any of you. Then they go give him a match with Kurt Angle. And then earlier in the night, Kurt Angle gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And what does every one of us think? How is Kurt Angle going to lose tonight after this big sob fest?
He's not going to job.
So not only do I think, okay, so Kurt Angle's either going to win, which is probably, or it's going to be some kind of draw where Aces and Eights jumps in, okay? Neither happens. Instead, AJ Styles doesn't even get schoolboyed. He doesn't even get schoolboyed or small packaged. He gets pinned.
It's like what I do to my girlfriend when I'm trying to fuck when I'm drunk.
Yeah, he gets pinned missionary style when you're boning a fucking prostitute in Las Vegas and you don't give a crap about what fucking happens.
Drunken missionary.
Drunken missionary, shoulders and knees. Maybe knees to the mattress as well.
I can't even remember the freaking move that
Jackrabbit style. That's how he got pinned.
I can't even remember the
Jackrabbit
move
style.
that occurred before the pin.
Here's the problem with that match. AJ Styles was fighting the wrong guy for that match. He turned on who? Aces and Eights, so he should have fought an Aces and Eights guy.
Yeah, but who?
Put Nux in there.
No, he turned on.
You know?
He turned on TNA though too. Here's the thing: is he's supposed to be turning on TNA
He's
and
supposed
Aces
to
and
be
Eights.
fucking Mr.
But he's still a face in the eyes of the fans.
No, he's not.
No,
you're right. No, you're right. He is, but he's not.
He's kind of anti-hero.
You're supposed to question it. As a fan, you're supposed to go, wait, am I supposed to like this guy? Because he doesn't like Aces and Eights, but he doesn't like Kurt Angle. He doesn't like Samoa Joe. He doesn't like Hulk Hogan. Doesn't like. He's pissed at everybody. Am I supposed to like this guy?
But Angle's always been a tweener. Even though he's like the face of TNA.
Kurt Angle
he was
has
in the
not
main
been a
event
tweener.
Mafia. But he was a heel for years.
Okay, but that's the difference. Is what I'm getting at is Aces and Eights is anti-establishment. Aces and Eights is NWO, and even when in WCW when you had NWO, okay, even the bad guys hated NWO until they joined.
The bad guy.
Right.
Well, I just think that AJ Styles should have. Okay, after that whole thing happened on Impact where he turned against them, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's not with Aces and Eights or TNA." he still should have taken on like Nux or somebody who wasn't involved in a match.
I think what
and then beat him,
happened,
and then
I
beat
think
him.
Maybe it would have been better to have a 3-way. To have AJ Styles versus a TNA guy.
There's too many
and
3-ways though.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing. Otherwise, what are you gonna do?
That only been the second.
To
one.
me, I don't necessarily agree that they should have put him against Aces. And
Kurt
this
Angle
guy.
should have been in the world title match against Bully Ray and Sting. I think.
No, I don't know about that.
Well, because it's saying
He didn't- that doesn't fit into the storyline.
That would have took away from.
That
in my
doesn't fit
opinion,
into the
I
storyline.
haven't been following Impact, but I'm just saying based on the card I'm watching,
No.
looking at.
If you want to segue into the next match, like that would have took away from. I told him. He said this stip has been on there before, but he can't fight for the belt anymore. Say Kurt Angle would have been thrown in there. Kurt Angle would have won. So who actually? Bully Ray loses his title, and Sting can't fight for the belt anymore.
it just wouldn't have worked. Yeah.
But
it wouldn't have worked.
like going in the next match, Bully Ray versus Sting. Bully Ray loses the belt versus Sting not being able to fight the world championship anymore.
Well, Sting needs to stop
was-
wrestling. Period, dude.
Here's what should have happened.
No, him and his 90.
Before we get into the main
break it down,
event.
that was an excellent
Before we get
match.
into the main event, just so we talk about it, what we're hitting on here, we're talking about Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, all that, okay? And you're saying, oh, we shouldn't have had a 3-way because there's too many. Then what they should have done booking it is the X Division match should have been a 4-way fucking dance, okay? And it should have had Petey Williams in it and or Joey Ryan in some form, 4 people, and that match should have been a 3-way, and it should have pitted AJ Styles against Kurt Angle, the new king of TNA, the new Hall of Famer. You know, he's the guy.
The
and
biggest spot.
And then had Nux or something be from Aces and Eights into the match and have it be okay. Now we got 3 people who are on 3 different allegiances.
The Renegade, the big faction versus
and
the
we could
company.
have seen where that would have went, where allegiances would have lied, who could have won. You know, we could have done so much with that.
I would have been done with that.
You know, but that's what I'm saying is that whole match. As soon as Kurt Angle got inducted into the Hall of Fame, to me, that whole match I knew was just there's nowhere you could go with it to please anybody.
That's probably why the crowd was dead.
But when I look at AJ Styles, I think of him as like the new Sting, the way they're making him from WCW.
He's the franchise of TNA.
So AJ Styles should be going after Aces and Eights 1 by 1. That's why I say his matchup should have been against Nux or whoever was an Aces and Eights and didn't have a match. Whoever didn't have a match for Aces and Eights on the pay-per-view, the only one I can think of is Nux.
I think
so. He should have taken on him and beat him.
That way. I think they're gonna go that way eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you remember back in WCW days, they didn't know. Remember, they didn't know what side Sting was on. Okay, and he eventually showed he was on WCW.
But see, they killed
side.
it. They killed it by having Kurt Angle beat him. He's on that.
He's
got that momentum.
I know. You're right.
He's got the momentum now.
You're right.
Oh shit, he's not with Aces and Eights either.
You're right.
And then
it
Kurt Angle
ruined
beats
the
him.
whole thing. Yeah, it ruined the whole thing.
Well, I mean, we're sitting here talking about a snooze fest of a match because the crowd was not into it at all.
It was, but at
The
the
booking was
same
more-
time, yeah, the booking and the storyline of what we're talking about here, there should have been so much more done with that, and it's stupid.
The build up was.
Stupid.
I think the build up was definitely. It was meant to be like a co-main event. I think.
Stupid.
Because it was like, especially when Kurt Angle was losing his mind on fucking. Kurt Angle was losing his mind on fucking AJ Styles, you know.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm the happiest part of my night. That main event, shit. If you didn't see anything, it was innovative. It was definitely innovative. There was stuff done in that match with the peeling up of the Bully Ray and Sting, with the peeling up of the ring, taking the matting out. It was just plywood.
Oh, into the main event, yeah.
Like segueing into the main event, that was innovative. It was entertaining. Your guys' thoughts? I thought it was incredible.
Well, you just jumped to the end real quick.
I never knew there was plywood or wood like that. It looks like a deck, like on a
Oh,
patio.
I did. Yeah.
I never knew that's what it looked like under a ring.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I
They
thought
took off 2 layers. They took off the padding and then the
padding's good, 2 inches
the
thick.
cloth.
See, I always assumed like under a wrestling ring. I knew there was wood there, but I assumed it was like just a thin layer of plywood, like a whole sheet.
Yeah.
But it's like straight on like 4x4s or something. Like,
And it was like the place, like you know, together to where
It's like
one
fiberglass. It's like what they make skateboard ramps and shit out of. You know, that's like what's under the ring or what the mat is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know.
I thought it was innovative. That was the best match of the night. Sting, you guys don't really like Sting.
I
I
hate
think
Sting.
Sting is an icon.
I think he's washed up.
He might be washed up now, but
he wrestles in a 90.
he had the best match he's had in
Because of Bully Ray.
years tonight. Of course, because of Bully Ray.
I mean, I apologize for jumping straight to the Indian and maybe giving some of it away, but like, do you think that Bully Ray carried the match?
Of course, he had. Yes.
Yeah, Sting's done.
Kurt even
Stinger
said,
throws chops and Stinger splashes and a scorpion leg lock and a death drop, and that's what he does.
When we were watching it, he did he took a lot of punishment. I think the funniest part was when I don't know if it was either Taz or if it was one of the ladies from the ring announce crew or whatever. Hand him a knife, and you motherfuckers like, oh shit, he's gonna stab the motherfucker. And he starts cutting up the fucking.
The first thing you would have thought of, if someone hands you a knife, it will stab him in the throat.
Instead
right?
of using it on his opponent.
He did say no holds bars.
Yeah,
no holds barred.
Instead of using the knife on his opponent, which would have ended the match right there.
I think the only guy who's ever used like a knife or a gun or whatever was Stone Cold when he went to take a gun to Brian Pillman's house.
Brian Pillman tried to shoot Stone Cold, I think. Wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. You're right. Brian Pillman grabbed the gun.
Was locked up in his house, and Stone Cold tried to break in, and Brian Pillman had the
God rest his soul. R.I.P. Brian Pillman. We miss you.
Yeah, hell yeah, we do. Brian Pillman was an excellent wrestler, but that was also like a very controversial fucking deal. But
how dare he use a gun to defend himself at his home? Okay, I'm offended. My children can't watch this show.
He was like in his leg boot or whatever, resting from an injury, and his wife was with him and shit. And Stone Cold was deliberately trying to break it.
He just happens to have his wrestling tights on. It's just
everything that Brian Pillman represented in the day. From WCW to being because you know why that whole Stone Cold and Brian Pillman angle was from the Hollywood Blondes and their tag team in WCW, man. Like what Brian Pillman would have grown to be is I just missed the guy, and he was one of my all-time favorites back then. When it wasn't necessarily even cool to like the bad guys.
No, it was a shooting star shot down way too soon.
Yeah.
Wait, so what would you guys rate this pay-per-view? 10 being the perfect pay-per-view of all time, 1 being the worst pay-per-view.
7.
I'm with the 7. I mean, cuz I'm just getting into this is my first Slammiversary that I paid for it. I watched it. That main event match, I was actually, not just because I like Bully Ray. I like Bully Ray, but I really hate Sting. I was drawn into that match because of the finish, because of the build-up, because of the innovative manner that all went down in. I think it was the main event. I'll give it 9 and 8.
Okay.
8.5. Overall pay-per-view.
I'll give the main event a 9
because of the chick match and the very first match. Overall pay-per-view. I'm 7.5.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay,
I'm pretty crucial.
Okay.
Well, you're the Russian judge.
And we didn't see what we all thought we were gonna see tonight was 2 things.
I know what you're gonna say right now.
Brooke Hogan.
Exactly.
Brooke Hogan didn't turn, which he's going to turn, my friends out there in La La Land.
She wants Bully Ray.
It's gonna happen.
That wouldn't have made it a 7 for me though.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just getting at. We didn't see that. We thought we all could have swore she came out tonight, but then
she came out a little bit early. That was also after Bully Ray ran into the back because he couldn't find a fucking chair anywhere.
Oh my God, we didn't talk about that.
Ring.
Yeah.
Devon, where do you put these? Where do you find tables under the ring?
Devon, I see these tables. Where the fuck are the chairs at?
Hey, Devon, where'd you put those at?
Oh, that was awesome. Bully Ray, if you didn't see it, he looked under the ring. I don't know, 4 times. For what we thought. We kept thinking, wow, can he not find the tables? I thought he was going to get on the mic and call Devon out to come get the tables, but it turns out all of a sudden out of nowhere, it looks like Gail Kim.
Too.
Gail Kim got the only fucking, it must have been the only staged chair.
Her flat face ran into it twice.
Yeah, and so Bully Ray had to run to the back out of nowhere to get a steel chair out of all things. How TNA doesn't have 10 steel chairs under the ring.
Not even one.
Maybe that's why Brooke Hogan came out, because Bully Ray took her chair. She was sitting back there on her chair. He came back and he literally had to run down the ramp.
Yeah, that
grab
was
a chair
funny.
and come back.
That was funny. And then second,
it came across as so amateur though. Came across as like, why aren't these guys prepared for
It
a
was
fucking no
stupid.
holds barred
It was
fight?
stupid.
Well, no, what was the last WWE pay
It was
per view?
stupid.
Extreme Rules. They lifted up the apron and there was Gatorades and waters and all that shit. Remember?
Hit some of the Gatorade. Oh no, he's stuffing water down his throat.
No, they had like a little courtesy rack of Gatorades and waters, and me and Mike were like, "Holy shit, there's like 5 Gatorades down there."
The second thing that we didn't see that I thought we were gonna see, right, and unless I missed this, was the free agent signing.
No, yeah, we didn't
see that, right?
We didn't hear or see anything about that.
Yeah, we thought
I think
RVD was coming. We keep thinking on Monday Night Raw and on TNA pay-per-views, RVD's coming back.
I think it's gonna be a
because-
secret. It's still a secret. I think.
No,
Well,
no, 'cause-
obviously.
Well, yeah, RVD was there for the unveiling of Curtis Axel.
He was there, yeah.
He was trending worldwide
By
on
who?
Twitter. RVD was at that
Oh.
WWE
Yeah.
Raw for who's the newest Paul Heyman
Like
guy.
backstage and shit.
He
was there, yeah.
backstage. And Curtis Axel was the new Paul Heyman guy. You know, that's
Yeah.
I agree with
completely
that.
different
You know why I agree with the Curtis Axel thing, real quick? Just because,
Bloodline.
well, he's from Minnesota, and Mr. Perfect was a Brock Lesnar like buddy or whatever, so it makes sense. Behind the scenes status.
Also
You know?
Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, and Paul Heyman guy, so it makes sense. You know, like I could see it. You know, like they're not doing nothing with Perfect's kid, so they should have done something. And who's a perfect guy to do it for?
See
Heyman.
what he did there? Perfect guy.
He is, and pretty soon we're gonna start seeing too. You guys are gonna watch. We got Curtis Axel. We do.
I'm
But
okay-
Wait,
I'm
wait,
okay with
wait
him.
till you see the real legacy of Mr. Perfect come out. And I'm telling you, Miss Perfect is coming down.
The Princess Perfect.
I'd fuck him.
You're gonna see. You're gonna see. You're gonna flip out. You're gonna see her hit a perfect plex, and it's gonna look like Kurt Hennig's in the ring.
And she has better curly blonde hair.
Yeah. So
I guess as far as the pay per view goes, my biggest problem with it was just the booking. You know, there's
Yeah.
just too many booking problems. I just didn't see the point.
yeah, I don't.
Jeff Hardy being thrown in that match, I think, was a little bit filler material.
Sure, that was just to bring Jeff Hardy back.
Yeah, I think that the timing of the Hall of Fame induction was
Do it after the match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's not
Yeah.
gonna lose after that.
It should have been done after.
And also it's like, I mean, like maybe do it the night before like WWE does theirs.
Yeah.
You know, and they also let everyone know, like, hey, guess what? Mike Becker, you're going to be in WWE Hall of Fame. Night before WrestleMania, you're in.
And
So,
Jay Bradley and
and
Sam
get-
Shaw should not have been on pay per view.
get that thing the fuck
That
off
should have
there.
been a YouTube pre-show event,
Yeah.
Hey, if they could strike a deal with YouTube,
right?
absolutely.
What, you got to strike a deal?
Or just
with
a
YouTube?
dark match.
Do your
Don't
own.
put-
Then do your own.
I don't even
fucking-
wanna see
do
it.
your own. Do your own pre-pay-per-view thing like everyone can.
A dark match, perfectly put. Perfectly put.
Well, you
They
know,
don't.
back-
They don't deserve to be
Well,
on pay
you
per
know,
view.
back in the day when you used to watch WWF pay-per-views in your houses and stuff, they used to give you the 30 minutes of free at 4:30.
Yeah.
You used to be able to go to the pay-per-view channel and watch for free,
Yeah.
and they would have a match,
do
and they
the-
would
do-
build
do-
everything
do the-
up,
Do the build up and all that shit.
and you would see a nice match, and blah 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 blah, and you would go, okay, now I want to see this event, something like that. Or
It was the
something, I
third
don't know.
match on the card too. It wasn't the first one.
and it was
yeah,
retarded. It was
yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
well, if you open up the show with that, it's gonna. People may try. Hey, I didn't order this shit. You know.
Should at least been the second match. you
Al
know?
Snow and Bruce Pritchard, if they are by any means responsible for what's going on with Gut Check, I'm just disappointed in both of them. And I think they both.
I respect Al Snow.
I used to, and I still do if he's not calling the shots, but if he is, man, he's destroying it. I think he's got a power trip kind of thing going on, and because any of the wrestlers who have any kind of pull locally or any kind of pull in the independent scene, they keep denying them because they're doing it to show them some kind of like, hey, okay, you're big where you're at. But you ain't big around here, homie. I call the shots. I'm big in TNA, and you better respect it. You know, it's the only thing I could see out of it.
Hey, to go down the Jimbo Trashy conspiracy route. There's
Let's
a
do it.
There's a part of me that always thinks, no matter who goes to WCW or TNA or whatever the competition is, there's always a plant by WWE to sabotage it.
There's the mole.
Yeah, I feel like there's always a mole in there, dude, because they make the stupidest fucking decisions, dude. And I always think, part of me thinks like, well, dude, how much is Vince McMahon paying you or promising you after you get them out of business? You know?
Yeah,
It's a little down the conspiracy route.
possible.
I agree.
But some of the booking is just like so fucking dumb, dude.
But Jay Bradley, you look at that guy. I understand. maybe they gave him the gut check, whatever that is. Like I said, I'm new to TNA, so giving him that win, he's gonna end up a faceless, nameless fucking jobber.
Are you sure his name wasn't Brad Shaw?
Yeah, yeah.
His first name Brad, last Shaw.
J. Brad Shaw.
And he uses the clothesline from.
That's what I'm saying. Jay Bradley. It's just it's too similar.
His finisher's the.
His opponent was named Shaw. Or something.
His finisher's the clothesline from heaven, and he like cotton candies him down, puts him to sleep gently.
Yeah. It's like if my name was Check Miker, and I was gonna start. You know?
Absolutely, but yeah, all in all, I would say pay-per-view 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Main event definitely carried it 9.
I'll give it a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
I like a lot of the guys on the roster. I'm a big mark when it comes to.
It's not the talent's fault either.
No, it's not.
I don't
it's
think
not.
it's talent's fault at all.
It's not. But I love seeing when I watch TNA. One of the main reasons I like it is for the people I see on it that bring me back to my late 90s days.
That's what Kurt was saying. Kurt had questions about every single person he saw. That
He knew.
Yeah,
he
what
knew.
happened to this guy? Why is he here?
It just why was this guy fired from WWF? So
that was the number one question floated around the.
What did he do wrong?
At Prize Fight Central, that was definitely floated around. Absolutely. Yeah. Where. Sure.
For those of you listening at home, wondering why they're saying shirt, and then Mike Checker shaking his head no. I'm offering shots of Johnny Walker Red Label while we talk about wrestling here on this podcast, and
yeah,
I gotta drive. That's why. None of these two knuckleheads are driving. I've been driving them all night. And I've still taken as many shots as they have until just now.
I think we're one.
We had a couple too.
No, we're one. We're two.
I'm 2 ahead.
Because we had one at my house, but you were in the bathroom.
I'm winning by 2.
Oh, that stuff is gross to me, man.
How dare you?
You shut your mouth.
How dare you not appreciate it?
If you had like a fireball or something, maybe I'd do it, but...
That's what we were drinking at the house.
I know, I would have taken a fireball right now, but...
Kurt Gaisford, Thanksgiving 2011.
That stuff is gross.
This what puts hair on your chest.
Oh, I have plenty.
If this is the video podcast,
I have plenty of hair on my chest.
All right, I can put hair on your back then.
Okay. Well, then I avoid it.
Okay, I'll put hair on your forehead then. I don't know.
But if you got a bald spot, do you just rub it in like Chavo?
Ooh, Chavo! Do the dance.
And for those of you who don't know out there, as Jimbo pointed out earlier today, wow, what happened to Chavo's bald spot? And I told him, what, you didn't know that Chavo's like one of the top 5 celebrities for the Bosley's Hair Club for men?
Was it Bosley's?
I think it's.
Why isn't Sting taking a note?
Sting.
He's got the haired circle over
we
there.
We learned tonight that when Sting's hair dries.
Well, no, he doesn't even have the comb over. He has
looks like Gallagher.
The back comb over.
He looks like Gallagher after he gets fucking in the ring.
After he's been smashing some watermelons and shit.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but yeah. All in all, guys, the greatest podcast you ever heard. This is the beginning.
I'll go as far as to say this is the official pilot.
This is, and you could check us out.
Episode 1.
We'll probably have some official.
Later down the line, we'll have the B-sides. That's not going to be for a long, long time. You won't hear the original pilot for long ago. So
we'll probably have some of our dealings with and promotions for the show on the globalpsychosis.net, the main website for everything we do here in the studio, and maybe have a poll. We're thinking about our name of the show, and we already had one kind of going, and we found out some jabronis down in Iowa are trying to do it, and they have their own little gimmicker of the heel turn podcast and maybe the heel shoot we're thinking about, and we might leave it up to you guys, the fans, depending on how much reaction we get from this, but we'll see. So just keep us in your thoughts, and send us emails. Hate, we really love hate emails.
That's
if you want to talk shit and shoot and
I've been
stuff.
getting that for years.
Yeah. We love that. That's our favorite thing, is for you to talk trash and tell us how ugly we are, and how mad you are that we banged your mothers, and how mad you are that your girlfriend watches us on Saturday nights when you go out to Timbuktu land with your homo friends, and
Yeah, I was actually gonna
You
say.
mosh at the shows and all that.
Even though you're only hearing our sexy, sultry voices,
You've seen us. You can see us. Don't worry. You can see us on our video podcast. We have those
when you
too.
see these faces, you'll know the voices. Obviously, especially with Jimbo Trashy podcast. This
is audio only for now.
Yeah,
now.
And this is only the beginning. Trust me, we'll be back. We'll be up in your ass.
The Jimbo Trashy podcast
Trust me.
started audio only, and trust me,
And it's grown leaps and bounds.
We got a laugh track now on Jimbo Trashy podcast.
Canned laughter. And when you check out globalpsychosis.net, I just let you know that the little voting that's going on right now, complete farce. Mike Checker has voted from about 7 or 8 different computers for himself.
No.
He is obviously not
No.
the most liked.
That's
on the
not
podcast.
true.
But
That's not true.
Get your name out there. Check
That's
it out.
not true.
You will be anonymous, but we all know who the favorite is, and you're hearing his amazing voice right now, even though it might be slightly sick. But yeah, I would say for the heel shoot.
Just remember,
potential
Scotty
name-
drives a Gaisford. That's all you gotta know.
No, that's cute.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time on the greatest podcast ever heard.
Believe it.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.